Hello everybody, and welcome to our October energy reading. I have been guided to use Housewives Tarot for the month of October. And if you aren't familiar, the Housewives Tarot is a domestic divination kit. I actually just heard, so we can get our house in order. Isn't that interesting? Maybe that's a clue as to what this month holds in store. It is a very cheeky deck. There you go. There's the side of it. And that gives you more of a clue as to how cheeky it is. So we will see how many cards we'll need and what comes up energetically for October. Obviously, September was, well, I just heard a crucial month, also critical. I was going to say very active month. Hold on, I'm actually being pulled away from the camera so you can't see me shuffling as much. I apologize, the energy is really intense. So that's not unusual. I'm actually shuffling these upside down. Let's do this. There we go. All right. There's our first card. Ooh, what's going to go there? Very unusual. I'm working with different energies than I have been. Yeah, that's in here. That one. Okay. And whereas the energies that I was working with before this point in time like to place the cards from right to left. Oops, one just fell out of the deck. I'm actually going to put that there. That's interesting. That doesn't often happen. As I was saying, the energies I've been working with before this like to place the cards from right to left. And so I'm still a little bit caught off guard. Oh, we're almost there. When I'm asked to place the cards from left to right. We're starting with those. I don't feel that we're necessarily ending with those. That's what we're starting with. So I'm going to take a sip of my tea. I have a little bit of a tickle in my throat. It's Winter Spice by Twinings, and it's lovely. It's pretty mild. I don't mind intense spice. This isn't that, but it's very soothing. Plenty of cinnamon. It's just really nice for fall. Okay, so let's just dive in here and find out, well, are these in order? They are in order. And this is, I just heard this is our wild card. This one here is our wild card. So let's start up here. Alrighty then. How's that for a starter card? Death. And now I have a sense of why we're using this deck. It's because of its kind of comical nature. It's perhaps because of the fact that it's, all done quite tongue-in-cheek, even though it falls very much into line with traditional tarot. I just heard it's more palatable. I wouldn't call salmonella palatable, but hey, that's okay. So we're starting with death. And honestly, let's stop and think about that for a moment. The fact that this fall season is extremely symbolic death-wise. For those of us who live in regions where the leaves change color and then drop off the trees, there's an example of death right there. And yet, it isn't a true death, is it? Really, it's about the trees going to sleep for a season, for 2 seasons. really, when you get down to it. It's 2 seasons worth. And what happens with death? Even, well, this is from my belief system, that even when we experience our physical death as humans, we go on to live in a different way. We go on to live in spirit. We return to a fullness of soul, as my guides have often said. And then for many people, there is a return to human life again. So death, as I just heard, is only the beginning. However, let's find out more about what this card really means for us for the month of October, beyond its symbolism, okay? I will give that over to our collective guides. Then perhaps you could understand that for change to occur, there must be a death. And with a death, there comes new life, new light. There comes understanding, there comes acceptance, there comes surrender. This is what is required in the month that comes. There is need for surrender, understanding, acceptance. In such a way, death may occur in the manner that will best help all people and also Earth. Well, that seems pretty clear, doesn't it? Well, okay. So I'm being shown what looks like missiles, and I just heard symbolic missiles. So, and I actually just heard shots fired. Where have shots been fired in your life? Where might you have guided missiles locked and loaded? At whom or what are they directed? And why? Is it necessary? And if it is, what prevents you from putting to rest what needs putting to rest? What prevents you from putting to death what needs putting to death? I'm hearing this song, Now is the Season for Loving. I don't think that's the title of it. It's a song, I believe, from the 60s or 70s. And that's really interesting that would come up around this. Well, except that considering the tone of the channeled message and considering what I am experiencing myself energetically, we could be talking about the death of egoic practices and beliefs that prevent us from loving fully, loving ourselves, loving our others, loving our planet. And I feel like that's really what this is about. So, and this is an ideal time that we're heading into. I think this was talked about a little bit last month too. The fact that autumn is such an ideal time for doing this sort of shadow work, because that's what that is, shadow work. So, things to consider for sure. All right? Death, the death card in tarot, death in general, isn't something to fear. but I'm being guided to mention it specifically in tarot. Death is not a card to be feared. Death is the precursor to life. Okay? So think of it that way. Don't get freaked out. Oh my goodness. By the way, let me just mention here, death is a major arcana card. In tarot, there are 22 cards for the major arcana, and then the other 66 cards, no, 56 cards, there are 78 total, 56 cards are for the minor arcana. The major arcana, these are I call them the heavy hitters. They're the power cards in tarot. So the fact that we already have 2 of these heavy hitters, these power cards from the major arcana showing up, is significant. Okay? The Hermit. Let me bring this closer so you can see it too, because the artwork is just really, really fantastic and fun. That's the type of hermiting we all could invest some time in. That's self-care right there. Looks like fun, right? Bubbles and everything. So, the Hermit is about going within. The Hermit is, I just heard walking the journey of the intuition. And I just heard indwelling. That's another topic, it feels like. Maybe not. So the Hermit. For the Hermit, there is need to remind all people as they enter this season in October. We notice need for rest, reserve, meditation, contemplation, and remembering to begin with what resides in the heart. Well, what a beautiful message. That's a beautiful message. Yes, it would serve us all well to take advantage of this time of the year, to invest in some hermit time, some self-care time, to perhaps reinvest ourselves or invest ourselves in a meditation practice. 5 or 10 minutes a day. You may find that that's a nice start and it feels doable, and then you may discover that you enjoy it so much you want more of it. And if that's the case, that's terrific. But truly, 5 or 10 minutes is a wonderful start for meditation. It will remind you who you are when you aren't plagued by the ego's chit-chat, by your monkey mind. And that's not to say that, not for everybody is it the case that you decide you're going to meditate, you sit down, you close your eyes, and your mind just clears. That would be wonderful if it would be the case. It doesn't happen for all of us. It doesn't happen for me. I have to really settle in before my mind clears, because I'm too much of a thinker. That's just the way I'm wired. So, kind of give yourself a break. I just heard about that. Give yourself a break. Even if during those 5 or 10 minutes as you're beginning a practice, you find that there's a laundry list of things cycling through your brain, let them cycle through. Just let them. Don't get hung up on them. Don't get all up on yourself, chastising yourself for not doing it right. Notice what comes up for you and just let it go. Just let it go. And that's how we begin. And if you're a person who already meditates, maybe this is a call to action to deepen your meditation. Maybe this is a call to explore different types of meditation. Maybe a guided meditation. Maybe transcendental meditation. Also, we would say, we would wish for people to remember that they may have need for more sleep, and also to honor this. And also, with sleep, it may be that there will be work occurring as though it were in meditation. Yeah, I love that was brought up, because yes, sleep, aside from basically recharging our physical body, recharging the batteries that run our physical body, quote unquote batteries, obviously. I know for myself, sleep is way more than sleep. A lot goes on while I'm sleeping. And I know that I astral travel. And I also know that my dreams are extremely, sometimes prophetic, at the very least productive, insightful, riddled with messages from my spirit team. And we also notice that in dreams can come what is unable to be reasoned with in your waking hours. And such a good point. For a lot of us, yes, we have intuitive abilities and we're aware of that, and we do a lot with them, or some with them. When we're sleeping, our ego is at rest. And that means when we're sleeping, our intuitive abilities are probably at the purest possible level. Isn't that something to think about? So what an opportune time for our spirit teams to, as I just heard, coordinate with us. So yes, sleep, rest, 'tis the season, okay? Alrighty then, on to the next one. Aha! So here's a card from the Minor Arcana. This is the Nine of Cups. Wow, this is so interesting. Nine of Cups. What a great picture. It looks, I love the crystal glasses. It looks very rich. It looks festive. It feels traditional. Lots of nostalgia wrapped up here. So, with the Nine of Cups, I've already tossed out some keywords here. Abundance. We notice that the woman receives a gift, and we could assume the gift is from the man. We notice that in this way, we would suggest to you a gift awaits you when you are permitting death, resting. Then comes the gift. And we notice the gift will be that of greater soul energy and greater intuition, and also peace. Wow. Boy, October holds a lot of promise. And so let's look at the juxtaposition here. We've just been told a story, really. Here's the beginning, the middle, the end. Surrender, acceptance, symbolic death, permitting change, permitting new life. resting, meditating, reinvesting ourselves in self-care, reaping the benefits. So that is the October story in a nutshell. That's the energy for October in a really fantastic nutshell. And how appropriate is nutshell, but that came up. So makes all I can think of is all the squirrels and the chipmunks outside collecting walnuts and acorns and everything else they possibly can this time of the year. They're hilarious to watch. I encourage you to watch them as part of your hermit practice. It's very meditative and also amusing. So now we have our wild card. So let's see what this is. Oh, okay. Well, that's the way I picked it up. I don't deal with reversals. If shadow stuff comes up, it comes up. I don't need an upside down card to bring up shadow stuff. So we have the Star. And again, the imagery says so much. This woman has clearly won a blue ribbon for her pie. And I don't think she could be any happier about it. And look, she's surrounded by ribbons. So I just heard she is being showered with accolades. Showered with accolades. Now, I wonder if the Star is basically putting the bow on the present that is the Nine of Cups. And I'm getting a yes on that. Let's see if we have any more of a message. I'm trying to keep this in the picture. It seems appropriate, too, to put the Star over death. Let's see if there's a channeled message for this. We notice that the Star symbolizes all that is possible when the unfolding is permitted, when the story is read, when the story is upheld. The Star is the wonder of what lies within the present. Well, I love that. The Star is the wonder that lies within the present. So, way more than a bow. And way more than the present itself, I would say. It isn't just what's within the present, it's the whole meaning of the present. It's what the present is capable of bringing to us. So, let me see if there's anything else to say about this. No. Okay, well, no, and then I just heard Trump, and I'm wondering if we're supposed to go there at all. We mention Trump only in that there is also a wish for you to understand that energy of this nature is available and is wished upon all people. And we have some need to remind all people that even though there may be those who would seem to work against Earth and her people, these people are still in way of receiving and needing the medicine or prescription that is offered within these cards. Yes, and I would also include the leader of North Korea in that. Terrorist groups, racist groups, all those, for each of us as a person, the individuals and the groups that we have difficulty with, disagreement with, they are also in need of the energy that is being offered up here. They need it, and it will, yes, of course, serve them as it will serve each of us. Even better, it will serve the collective for them to receive this. Think of that. It will serve the collective for those that we hold in disagreement to receive this energy. So important to remember that. So important to hold compassion for all people. That will help heal Earth faster than anything else we can possibly do. Okay? So, unless there's anything else from our guides, which I'm getting a no on, that concludes our October reading. It's powerful. This is really powerful stuff here. So, enjoy, and I would love to hear what comes up for you as we step into October. If you feel that you are in need of more clarity about what this could mean for you, then you can always book a session with me, and I'd be happy to go over that with you. You can book anything from 20 minutes to an hour and a half with me. So you'll find the link to my website somewhere below this video. And if you're watching it on YouTube, you'll actually find a link at the end of it. Okay? Please take really good care. Enjoy this beautiful month as it comes in, and have fun unwrapping the gift that's coming for you. Blessings be.